Today's topic is method of measurement of low resistance. Method of measurement of low resistance are mainly three types: ammeter, voltmeter method, Kelvin double bridge, potentiometer method. So, as in earlier class I have discussed the measurement of medium resistance. So, the mainly two method, voltmeter and ammeter method. So, for the measurement of low resistance, voltmeter and ammeter method are same, but there is a huge error and more inaccurate method for the measurement of low resistance. Our most popular and most useful method is the Kelvin double bridge method, because when you measure low resistance from 0 to 1 ohm, so there is a problem due to connecting resistance of connecting wire. So that's why the voltmeter and ammeter method is not suitable for the measurement of low resistance. So mainly and most popular method for the measurement of low resistance is a Kelvin double bridge method. So I discussed for the measurement of medium resistance, Wheatstone bridge is most accurate and most popular method for the measurement of resistance. So for the measurement of low resistance, Kelvin bridge is used. Kelvin bridge is just a modification of Wheatstone bridge. So Wheatstone bridge. So what problem you face using the Wheatstone bridge? If you want to measure the low resistance using Wheatstone bridge, suppose this is the Wheatstone bridge having the arm resistance PQRS. So suppose a galvanometer G is connected to point M or N. That means the connecting. Suppose there is a one connecting wire, that means connecting lead that connects the resistance unknown resistance R and standard resistance S. So now the galvanometer, another terminal you have to connect either at S side, that means at N point, or at M point. So because we have to measure the low resistance, so low resistance from 0 to 1 ohm. So due to wire resistance, there is a huge error in measurement. So suppose using if you want to use a Wheatstone bridge for the measurement of low resistance, so what the problem we face? Suppose we want to connect R and S, and suppose you connect the galvanometer second terminal at point N. Then the wire, suppose there is a small r is the resistance of resistance of wire. Then if you connect at point N, that means the resistance of resistance of wire small r is in series with the standard with the unknown resistance. At that time you get the low resistance. At that time when the connection is made at the point N, that means the R is added to the unknown resistance, resulting an indication of high resistance, because there is in a balance condition R is equal to S into P by Q. So the net we have to now compare with the small r. We have bridge is balanced for small r plus capital R. So if you connect the galvanometer terminal at point N, then we indicate the high value as compared to the true value. If you connect the galvanometer terminal at M, then this small r is that means the resistance of wire is connected with the standard resistance. So at that point we have to measure the low resistance. So that means there is a error due to wire resistance. So we have to we have to find out the intermediate point where we have to measure the accurate value. So for the accurate measurement, we have made the galvanometer connection to any intermediate point D. Any intermediate point D, if the point of resistance R is divided into two parts, suppose a small R1 and a small R2, in such that R1 by R2 is equal to P by Q. So suppose at point D, so R1 is in series with the unknown resistance R, and R2 portion is in series with the standard resistance S. So at balance condition, R1 plus small r1 is equal to P by Q into R by R plus R small r2. And you know, so you have to divide the wire resistance R1 wire resistance R in two parts, R1 into R2, R1 and R2, such that R1 by R2 is equal to P by Q. So then R1 plus R2 is equal to P by P plus Q. So if you solve this equation, then you get the R is equal to S into P by Q. That means for the measurement of unknown resistance, we can exclude the effect of connecting wire resistance. So we conclude that making the galvanometer connection at point D, the resistance of lead does not affect, but it is not a practical way to achieving the result, because it is very difficult to find out a null point in a connecting wire. So we have modified the Wheatstone bridge, and in modification Wheatstone bridge is called Kelvin double bridge. So Kelvin double bridge connect two set of ratio arms, that means capital P and Q and small p by Q. The first ratio arm P, capital P and Q, and the second set of ratio arm small p and small q are used to connect the galvanometer at point to eliminate the effect of connecting leads resistance between the unknown resistance. So this is the modified bridge. Wheatstone bridge is called Kelvin double bridge. Why it's called double? Because there is a two set of connecting ratio arms, P, capital P and Q, small p and Q. So we have to connect a galvanometer in between capital P and Q and small p and Q. And there is a unknown resistance R, and there is a standard resistance S, and where from M to N this is the wire resistance. So for the Kelvin double bridge we have to maintain one things, that means P by Q, capital P by Q is equal to small p by Q. That means the two ratio of two resistance arms must be the same. So under balance condition there is no current between the galvanometer. That means the voltage between A to B is equal to voltage drop between AMD is equal to R same. That means at balance condition voltage across A B is equal to AMD. So under balance condition there is no current through the galvanometer, which means EAB is equal to EMD. So from equation from the circuit, EAB is equal to P by P plus Q into EAC, and EAC is equal to I into R plus S, since P plus Q are connected in series and with parallel with the small resistance R, so total voltage EAC is equal to I into R plus S into P plus Q by R by P plus Q plus R. So next, the voltage AMD, that means voltage drop across AMD is equal to I into R plus this voltage drop across small p resistance. So voltage equal to I is equal to R plus P by P plus Q plus R into P plus Q by R. So from equation number 1, that means voltage across EAB is equal to AMD. If you put EAB is equal to P by capital P by P plus Q is into EAC. From you know the value of EAC, so we have put their value and equating them. So by solving this portion, capital R is equal to S into capital P by Q plus QR by P plus Q plus R under bracket capital P by Q minus small p by Q. So as you know that the main condition for the of Kelvin double bridge, that the capital P by Q is equal to small p by Q, means ratio of 2 arms resistance must be the same. So this portion is becomes zero, and finally R is equal to S into P by Q. So from this result we conclude that the resistance of connecting lead R has no effect on the measurement. So in this way we have to eliminate the effect of connecting wire in the measurement of resistance, because for the measurement of low resistance, a connecting wire resistance considered a measurable effect in measurement of low resistance. So next, the effect of thermoelectric effect can be eliminated by making another measurement with a battery connection reverse. That means first reading you have to take from A to C. That means positive terminal of battery connected to A and negative terminal of battery connected to C. And the second measurement, positive terminal of battery connected to C and negative terminal of battery connected to A. So in this way, if you take the average value of those measurements, then you can eliminate the effect of thermal effect. The true value of R being the mean of two readings. So this is the explanation of Kelvin double bridge. So using derivation, we have to find how we can eliminate the effect of connecting wire resistance R, and how the circuit becomes more accurate as compared with the when you measure, if you want to measure using the Wheatstone bridge. So this method is more appropriate as compared with the other two methods. Okay, and next method is the potentiometer method. So next method is the potentiometer method. So potentiometer method is mainly an application of potentiometer. You know how to use the potentiometer and how to use the potentiometer for the measurement of resistance, for power, for voltage measurement, for current measurements. So this is the circuit diagram for the measurement of low resistance using potentiometer method. You see, there is a stabilized DC supply, there is one rheostat, and this portion is unknown resistance, and this is the standard resistance S. So there is a two-pole switch. First, if you connect the switch from position 1 to 1, then potentiometer measure voltage drop across resistance R, and if the two-pole switches connect to point 2 and 2 dash, then the potentiometer measure the voltage across standard resistance. So unknown resistance R is connected in series with the standard resistance. The current through the circuit is controlled with the help of rheostat. A two-pole double thrown switch is used. This switch, when you put in the position 1 1 to connect unknown resistance to the potentiometer, then reading of potentiometer is equal to VR, that means is equal to I into R. VR is equal to I into R. When the two-pole thrown switch is connected in the position 2 dash, then voltage across potentiometer is equal to I into S. That means the voltage reading across the potentiometer connect to the standard resistance. So from equation number 1 and equation number 2, R is equal to VR by Bs into S, where VR is the voltage across unknown resistance using potentiometer and Bs is the voltage across standard resistance using potentiometer. So in this way, using potentiometer you can measure the low resistance. The accuracy of these methods depends on the assumption that there is no change in the value of current when two different measurements are taken. Therefore, a stable DC supply is absolutely necessary. So main problem is that when you connect a resistance R, suppose the ammeter measure the current, and if you connect standard resistance to the potentiometer, ammeter, in those conditions, if the ammeter reading are not same, then there is a error in measurement of low resistance. So that's why we have used stabilized DC supply. That means the standard DC supply used for the measurement of low resistance. The resistance of standard resistance S, which must be accurately known and should be of the same order of resistance R, and the potentiometer method of measurement of resistance suitable for the measurement of low resistance. So finally we conclude the portion of measurement of low resistance. So measurement of low resistance have three types: a voltmeter, ammeter method, Kelvin double bridge, and potentiometer. Among them, Kelvin double bridge method is most suitable for the measurement of low resistance. Kelvin double bridge method is nothing the modification of Wheatstone bridge. Actually, when you connect the unknown resistance and standard resistance using some wire, so due to wire resistance there is an error in the measurement of low resistance, because low resistance we have to measure from 0 to 1 ohm, and wire have some internal resistance. So due to minimize the effect of wire resistance, we have modified the bridge and bridge. Now the bridge have two double arms, capital P by Q and small p and q. So in this way we have to minimize the effect of connecting wire, and finally we conclude that the unknown resistance does not have any effect of connecting wire, and finally unknown resistance is equal to S into P by Q. And second method is potentiometer method. So potentiometer method is lengthy as compared with the other methods. So most popular and accurate method of measurement of low resistance is Kelvin double bridge. Thank you.